up. I just wondered what your thoughts were about progress made in camp and the direction you're pointed in, you think?
I really like the way our team works. Um, I like the urgency. We went probably practice maybe 10 through 12 somewhere where I was disappointed in our execution on offense. I didn't think we were urgent enough in our demeanor, and we certainly picked that up. But overall, it was really nice to get to today, which is our Monday practice for Rice, and it's just our typical Monday practice, what we do, and certainly we believe in how we work the game weeks. This one will be a little bit different because we've added 2 days, but so I'm proud of the guys, the way that we've done. We've came out, there's a lot of green out there at practice, but we've come out fairly injury-free for the first game.
Coach, you got a scout team out there, and so things change for some of the younger guys. How is that with them going from, getting a lot of reps and stuff to showing you looks?
Well, we went scout switch a few times during practice in fall camp. Some of it was to look at Georgia Southern's option type game. Some of it was to look at some stack defense, odd stack that we don't see that often. So we did switch some scouts at that point. Usually, I don't think you would switch scouts, Trey, before school starts. But we did probably 3 different separate practices before this. So just to get them ready to go. We want our kids, every one of them, to earn the opportunity to run through that A. And we're going to dress out everybody who went through camp versus Rice. And I want them to earn that right. I want them to feel proud and great about themselves when they run through that A, the scout team guys as well, because at that point, you've gone from I hope to I know. And they need to be the reason that we're not saying I hope we win, but I know we're going to. And I thought today they really did that.
You still optimistic that they'll all play against Rice or be available?
I am. I believe in what we're doing with those guys in green is we're doing basically most of the scout work, not all of them, but the majority of them. We're doing the scout work with them. And if we go good on good, we're holding them right now. But I expect for almost every one of them to be out of their green by Monday.
How did you feel like the first day of Rice install went overall?
Well, every time y'all ask me a question about practice, I always say it was great, but I'm not lying. I mean, today was such a super practice. It was an hour and 40 minutes, like I say, that we always do in shells on Monday. But I thought our scout teams were excellent. I thought we ran to the ball. I thought Scott and them had a really good plan for special teams. We executed that well. And, our offense played well all day in the 2-minute drill. The defense, got the better of the offense, both ones and twos. And the bottom line is we just have to do better there at offense, get the ball out of our hands, get out of bounds when we need to. But other than that, I thought it was just as good a practice as we could have.
There's been a lot of talk about depth improvement in the defensive line. How about offensive line and those backups and how they progress? Jalen St. John and some others.
Tykees Crawford has, he's played a lot with the ones. Wags has been a little bit in and out with, some an injury, and of course St. John has been out there at left tackle, and he's improved. Had a spell there. He had a stinger that he didn't want to see me come around too often, but other than those 2 or 3 practices where he had that stinger and he was trying to nurse it more than what I wanted him to, he's done well. The battle's still going on those 2 guard spots. But Ty Clary has a lot of value to us, you know, whether it be center. We've also looked at him at right tackle. We've looked at Brady Latham at right and left tackles. So, you know, I think we're going to be fine at the tackle position, the guard position, the center position as well. So, you know, Clary has a lot to do with that because I believe he would possibly be the backup at right tackle and center.
Any update on Traylon Burks, Sam Loy, some of the guys that have not been out there?
Well, I don't know. They haven't been at practice, you know. I'm not for sure. You know, I feel like they're both going to be ready for Rice. Let's say this: I feel better about Traylon being ready for Rice than possibly I do Sam. But that would be the only two guys really that there would be some type of concern about.
Hudson has been in and out too, also, and not in green. He's just there or not there.
Yeah, he just. Yeah, I mean, he'll be fine. We'll get him back to practice and he'll be fine.
As far as Sanders, just how has he done? I mean, his running's been impressive, but as far as protection and all the other things that a running back's got to do.
I think we're getting better at that, you know. Now we know who to block. It's a little bit more of how to block them. And I think we're getting better in there. You know, Dominique Johnson is good at that. Rocket's becoming a better protector. Traylon's always been a willing protector. AJ Green has to continue to improve there, but I think they know who to go after, and they're playing more physical.
You made a call on team captains yet, or what?
That's a good question. What's tomorrow? Friday. Friday we'll vote on team captains, and then we'll announce them out here in the mock game on Saturday. The kids will vote, not the coaches.
What's your confidence level about the offense being able to sustain drives, stay on the field, and score?
Well, I'm confident in our players. You know, I'm confident in our coaches. We have to protect the football, but I'm confident that we can stay on the field and move down the field and score points.
And with Burks being out lately, just what have you seen from the receiving corps? And is there? I know we talked about Keytron the last time you were in here, but just other guys that you feel like are going to be.
Well, Bryce Stevens is going to help us. Cadlon's going to help us. Certainly, Jaquaylin Crawford has moved into that spot, you know. But I like our outside receivers with Warren Thompson being one of those guys. And, of course, I talked about Keytron. But in that slot position, you have JD, you have Jaquaylin Crawford, you have Bryce Stevens, you know, and even Cat's playing on the outside, but we could even move him in there as well. And, of course, I've been impressed with Harper Cole, too. So I think, you know, again, you certainly don't want Traylon Burks not to play in any game. But sometimes if you get a little nicked up and you're not able to practice, it helps your football team in the long run.
I think wide receiver is probably one of the questions most fans have about, you know, just like who's going to trot out there first, but also in addition, the defensive line, like where are you guys at now? I mean, you got to start saying, okay, this is our first group, second group at some point. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much know that. We'll probably wait, Trey, until probably after Wednesday's practice to post a definite depth chart of next week. We still have, in my opinion, we still have some battles to figure out. But you guys have been at practice. You probably have the gist of who's going to start for us and things of that nature. But I think we still have battles. I don't know if it's fair to name a starting group of guys right now until we get through tomorrow's practice, which will be Tuesday, and then Monday and Tuesday's practice, which would be a Wednesday practice. After we get through there, probably on Wednesday at some time, we could probably nail down exactly who we're going to do. But we still have some battles, and I'm not one of those guys that likes to put so-and-so or so-and-so, so-and-so or so-and-so. Somebody's one, you're going to run somebody out, like you just said, you're going to run somebody out there with the first 11. and they've earned the right to be on the depth chart in that order, in my opinion.
Sam, with Lloyd being out, how's Bauer done?
Who?
With
Sam.
Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah.
How's Bauer done? And would it be safe to say he's going to be the punter or how's he done? You feel like he's earned that spot? Or?
Yeah, I do. The thing about Bauer is that, I love him. I had a talk with him at the end of spring ball, and he's going, well, 2 years ago, they said I couldn't start. I did. Last year, they did, we brought a punter in. I beat him out. They said no, not overconfident, but very confident. I love the guy. And by golly, he's done it again, so really proud of him. And of course, he has to punt well the next few days to keep that job. But he's our starting punter right now, as you and I are visiting.
Have you made a call on punt return, kickoff return guys yet? For definite that you run out there?
No, we really haven't. Again, Wednesday will probably be that day too. But I'm very confident that we have enough punt returners. Kickoff returners seems to me like it's a lot easier to catch a kickoff than it is a punt. So I certainly have more kickoff return guys. Punt, we're probably trying to figure it out between 3 guys. You guys know who they are.
I know we'll get deeper into Rice next Monday, but just overview on these guys. I know they beat Marshall late last year, but they got a lot of people back. What do you think of them?
But it's anywhere on their offense between 7 and 9 returners, and then on defense, I think they have 10. So they, depending on like maybe a guy beat out a starter, from last year, which you have to think that's a starter type potential. They have all their offensive line back. Certainly, Luke McCaffrey transferred in from Nebraska, and so we're well aware of him. The other quarterback they had last year is also returning. So, but here's what they are. They're ball control, physical. They probably play more 12 personnel than anybody that we played in last year. But they're, I think we read that they're 120th in tempo, so they are a very, they're trying to keep the ball away from you. And anytime you do that, you're trying to run it down somebody's throat. And I think that, I don't know, but I would assume that would be their plan against us. On defense, I like their defense because there's so many, it's so multiple. They can run an odd stack, 4 down and over and under. They play a lot of different coverages in the backside and 4 and 2. And then, when they want to get after, they can play man, they play 3. I think their number 1 coverage is 3, but, I really like, it's unfortunate for them. They had a D tackle that got hurt that was really a good player, I thought. And they have a nose tackle that's one of their highest tacklers for a nose guard in the history of their school. They have a really fine nickel, and I like their safeties. They really run back at safety. They are a very physical team. They'll run and hit you. And so a lot of respect there. Coaches got it turned a little bit, I believe. Some of their games they lost last year were in overtime, very close games. And of course, they beat a fine Marshall team at Marshall. And so our kids are well aware of that.
You mentioned Rice has multiple quarterbacks. Would you play more than 1 quarterback in just a normal flow of the game?
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, if I felt like they earned it, I know I would. And Malik certainly brings some similarities, but some speed when he's in the game. I think he's a good pocket passer, but we can roll with him. Hopefully he gets to the outside and has 2 options, run or throw. He's a very good runner. And so, more than last year, last year I think we brought him in the first time against Auburn down the goal line. And certainly if we didn't think he could score, we wouldn't have done it. But, hindsight, you look and you go, well, probably wasn't ready for that. He's ready for some situations like that. Well, And I feel good, you know, if we can get HUD back consistently, I feel good about those three, you know, backs and HUD and of course, Kern. That right now, that's where we're at, you know, that's who we have. And then you know, we have some younger guys we're trying to develop. We're trying to, you know, certainly get Landon Rogers there as fast as we possibly can. And we've gone to a little bit more 10 personnel to help us in case we run short at tight end.
Actually, a quick question from Andrew. I think he's watching on the Zoom. You can give him a shout out if you want. He was wondering about, you know, he's always wondering about what walk-ons.
I think you just did.
Yeah, about what walk-on. Yeah, if it's nice or it's for you. I wonder what walk-ons might be getting scholarships, if you've made a call on that yet.
Well, you know, we have probably about 4 or 5 guys that, you know, we're looking at all of them, but there's probably realistically anywhere from 1 to 4 guys. You know, we can it can be retroactive, the scholarship. And so we didn't necessarily have to figure that out before school started, because at any point we put them on, it can go back and they can get their money reimbursed and things of that nature. You know, here's what I believe on scholarships. If we offered a scholarship to every walk-on that was a good kid, we'd offer them to everybody. You know, unfortunately, the problem with walk-ons is that they have to get on the field. You know, they have to help your football team, in my opinion. They need to be players in the 1 or 2 deep, and they need to help you on a Saturday. And what's hard is a walk-on, you look around, there's some scholarship guys and you're better than them. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating at times. We want to do that. I'm not quite ready to do that yet for several reasons. But we have our eye on some of the guys, and if we do, then I'll tell you. I'm not a video guy and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like if you and I were walk-ons and they gave a scholarship to you and they did all the hoopla, and I'm all for that. I mean, I don't care if somebody else does it. I mean, that's good for their program. But I just feel like if you got a scholarship and I didn't, as happy as you feel, that would be sad for me if I thought I'd earned that scholarship as well. So we don't do a lot of hoopla. I just call them in, tell them they're on scholarship, and congratulations, call your mama and dad, and go on from there. All right, guys.